Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back for another exciting episode where I teach you about financial intelligence for contractors. In this episode, I'm going to be teaching you the difference between direct costs and indirect costs, also known as overhead. I'll also tell you why this is important to your construction business and give you the information you need to know so that we can move forward in your journey of financial intelligence. So let's talk about direct costs. Most people get this part right. Direct costs are anything that you can tie directly to a job. So this is part of production. So you've got all your labor costs for your field labor. And you've got your material costs to actually produce the job. And then you've got everything else, your subcontractors and things that are directly tied to producing a project. These are your direct costs. These are typically what you measure when you're calculating your job bid, and then you apply a markup to all your direct costs. That's typically the most way people bid jobs and run their business. The opposite of direct cost is the indirect cost, all your overhead. A lot of times this is your sales staff, your project managers, your office admins, all the burden of actually operating the company, your insurance. Sometimes your employee benefits get lumped into this, especially for all your office staff, owner's draw, owner's salary. Those are examples of overhead. Overhead includes advertising. These are indirect costs that can't be allocated directly to one job. So why does this distinction even matter? It's important to understand the difference because of how you bid the projects. If you're bidding on direct costs and don't have a thorough understanding of your overhead and indirect cost, you might not actually be applying enough markup. Long gone are the days of a 10 and 10 markup for overhead and profit. That just doesn't work with today's business structures. You need to understand this information so that you can use your direct cost to calculate a gross margin on a project, and then you take out your overhead to get to actually a net profit. This is super important for you to be able to do profitability analysis on a job-by-job basis. It will also let you establish cost control because you know what margins you need to hit to maintain profitability for your company, and you're also measuring all of your direct cost and overhead. So what are some practical tips for you contractors to be able to understand direct cost and overhead and monitor these costs? I think it starts with understanding your accounting software. So things like QuickBooks, Xero, and these digital accounting softwares. A lot of CRMs like Buildertrend even have job costing built directly into it for your direct cost. This will help you understand job costing so that you do individual job and project profitability so that you know what kind of margin you're getting on your sales after you account for direct cost. We can then take that for the year and figure out our overhead and get down to actually our profitability. And accounting software like QuickBooks makes that so easy to do if you keep it updated. So I encourage you to jump in and understand just the basics of navigating the reporting side of QuickBooks at a minimum so that you can understand what your direct costs are, your gross margin, and your net profit margin after overhead. You should be involved in a regular financial review. You should do this for your projects that are ongoing and do a project audit or a financial update every week or bi-weekly on your active projects. And then you should probably be doing a monthly review with your bookkeeper or your accountant so that you understand where your financials are for your company. You can also seek expert advice. There are financial consultants and coaches and things like that that can help you understand your financials and be able to determine your job costing, which is a huge undertaking, as well as your overhead for the year. There's a lot of cool tools out there and spreadsheets that help you calculate all this information rapidly. So to recap this topic, direct costs are costs that can be applied directly to a specific project. Indirect costs or overhead are things that are not directly applicable to a project but required for you to operate your company. You really have to be tracking these things so that you can properly bid jobs, do job costing, ensure proper margin, and maintain a profitable company. Be sure to check out some accounting softwares to help you be able to do this, and then you can have weekly, monthly financial reviews for your company so you know what's going on. And as always, feel free to reach out for expert help on this topic because it's a lot to undertake when you're trying to run your business. I want to encourage all of you to go assess your current cost categorization system. So one of the things that I see commonly wrong is that we're not splitting out direct cost labor and overhead labor. It's all lumped into one payroll line. And we really need to know what it's costing you in the field to produce jobs if you have in-house labor. So we need to see where we're categorizing all these different costs that you're incurring to make sure that direct costs are coming out above the gross profit line in your income statement. Be sure to check that out. That's a common mistake I see. If this video was helpful and brought you a better understanding of direct cost and overhead, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Comment below if you have any questions about this topic. I'd love to answer those. Be sure to stay tuned for next week's Tuesday video.